What's up, everybody? This is Jude from Section 122 on ArgosEndzone.com, and it's time for Week 3 action as your 1-1 Toronto Argonauts host the 1-0 Calgary Stampeders. Before we get into what we're going to be talking about for this week, let's have some fun and take a look back what happened last week. So where to begin talking about last week? The Argos dominated in every aspect of the game. Outside of a third quarter where the Riders got a couple of TDs to make it look a little closer, it was complete control by the Double Blue. Ricky Ray had 400 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. A tip of the cap to the gentleman there, as he was the Offensive Player of the Week for Week 2. Andre Dury, with just shy of 100 total yards, was the top Canadian for Week 2. Tip of the cap, sir. Chad Owens, a nice touchdown catch. There was about 150 combined rushing yards amongst all of the running backs, as well as Ricky Ray contributing on the ground. We had some balance there, and Antoine Molden made his introduction to the CFL with 2 interceptions, one 108-yard return touchdown to put the nail in the coffin last week. It was a fantastic show all the way around. The only blemish, again, from the scoring perspective, the third quarter they started to slack a little bit, and the Riders had 2 quick scores and thought it was going to make a big comeback. As the CFL always says, no lead is safe. But the big news has got to be the fact that Andre Dury broke his clavicle. That's a collarbone for us layfolk, and will be out for at least 6 weeks rehabbing that. So we wish him all the best. Hope he comes back bigger, stronger, faster, and pretty angry about missing out on these last couple games. But I got an idea that the Argos are in good hands while we wait for his return. Week 3 has the Calgary Stampeders coming to town to visit Rogers Centre and take on our beloved Toronto Argonauts. Whenever I think Calgary in Toronto, now I always think of the 100th Grey Cup from 2002 as the Argos dominated the Stampeders here in Toronto. This is going to be a different team coming to town, though. They don't have the 3-headed monster at quarterback anymore, as Glenn has moved on to the Ottawa Red Blacks as part of the expansion draft, and then a trade to the BC Lions. So now Bo Levi Mitchell is at the helm for the offense, with Drew Tate standing in the wings. You know, I'm always going to be talking about Brad Sinopoli, local Peterborough boy. Hope he's going to have a good game, but I hope his team loses. The biggest impact has got to be the fact that John Cornish hasn't been able to practice at full speed since the concussion he suffered in Week 1. There's no guarantee that he'll even dress for this game in Toronto, which puts a huge dent in that Stampeder offense. We'll have to see what actually shows up come Saturday. The Argos side of the ball, again, it starts and ends with Ricky Ray. If he can stay upright, if he can get the ball out, then he's going to make things happen. That offense is going to move, and it's going to put pressure on that opposing team. So I'm not saying it's another 400-yard performance, but if he plays well, then that's going to dictate how everything else is going to go. A tip of the cap as well to Chris Van Zyl, who signed an extension through 2016. An excellent move by Jim Barker, again playing a role of keeping Ricky Ray upright, as well as some consistency and that all-star caliber on that offensive line. I think that the defense last week obviously really elevated their game. You couldn't get 2 more diverse performances as we had with Week 1 and Week 2 for the Argos defense. Will they continue? It's tough to say. That's such a huge jump. We'll have to see it's an anomaly, or if they slip back a little bit. Is it a work in progress? Of course it is. Here's hoping that it stays a little more on the consistency side. It's tough for them to game plan, not knowing for sure if Cornish will be in or out. But again, all indications are that he is not going to play this week, which means that the ball is going to land straight in the hands of Bo Levi Mitchell to move that ball. We'll have to see how he plays out. I'm not sure they're going to be a really effective passing offense, but I've been wrong before. This week's fantasy football picks. Again, tsn.ca/fantasy. Get you on board for a chance to win tickets to the Grey Cup in Vancouver and a nice suit from Moores. So last week I had you dress John Childs, who blew everybody away with an amazing one-handed grab early in the game. If you weren't there, you really missed out because it was something to see in person. However, the replay's been shown quite a bit, as he, as of Wednesday, is the 3-time champion on TSN's 1v1 showdown. Make sure you vote for him there at tsn.ca/1v1. See if we can get some more double blue and more CFL showing up in that highlight package. So this week, I think that you're going to see a big Chad Owens game. The challenge with Owens is that the way the fantasy program is broken down is you only get credit for his special teams yardage if you dress the Argos defense in special teams. With the way they played in Winnipeg, I don't think very many people had the Argos defense dressed last week, which was a shame because of their interceptions, their sacks, and what they were able to move the ball on special teams. But I think that this is going to be a big Chad Owens game. We're going to see a lot of yards after the catch, which of course he's known for. Watch the underneath stuff and him break 2 or 3 tackles and make some big plays. I say dress Chad Owens this week. And we'll see. So, this week prediction, it's going to be a bit of a tough one. Again, if we go on the assumption that John Cornish is not going to dress, that's going to severely impact how the Stampeders can move the ball on offense. And so early in the season, we don't know if that Argos performance on defense last week was going to be the norm, or if what we're going to see from week 1 against Winnipeg will be the norm. So, going under the assumption that the Argos can move the ball on their own, it's just a question of whether they can stop the opposing team from moving theirs. So, let's say that the Argos are going to come out on top on this one. Let's go with a 37-24 outcome. So it'll be a little bit of fun, a little bit of back and forth. As they say, no lead is safe. Maybe the Argos come from behind this week. Keep it in mind. So that'll wrap up our Week 3 preview. Hope you had some fun. As always, feel free to leave some comments down here. Make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Feel free to subscribe to this channel in case we put something different than yours truly on here. And again, let us know what you like, what you didn't like. We're here for you. So, game kicks off at 6:30 Saturday afternoon. Already did the research. Jay's game starts at 3 o'clock. It's in Tampa. So it'll be 3/4 of the way done there, or at least mostly settled at that point, so you can come down to the game. World Cup game kicks off at 4. So that means you've got plenty of time after that game. You're already going to be downtown drinking. Come on down to the Dome. Keep those good times rolling. What do you say? It'll be a blast. While you're at the Dome, make sure you pick up this year's Toronto Argonauts swimsuit cheerleaders calendar. It's 12 months of sunshine for $20. And hey, it's a great autograph seeker too. Check it out. Look at that. Find your favorite. Get an autograph. The proceeds go to make sure the team gets out to BC for the Grey Cup, hopefully cheering on our double blue. So, 6:30 kickoff, Saturday. Come on down to 122 and say hi. It'll be a blast. If the weather's anything like last Saturday, you gotta be there. Especially if the performance on the field matches it, right? So, until next time, this is Jude from Section 122 on ArgosEndzone.com saying, we ride the rail and we ride it hard.